Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we discussed about some output techniques, JavaScript output methods. So various reference techniques we learned. Reference techniques are nothing but how JavaScript refers HTML. JavaScript refers HTML by using DOM hierarchy, by reference of name, by reference of IDs, by reference of CSS selectors. And JavaScript output techniques, we discussed about how to use an alert, how to use a conform, and document dot write. We have inner text. So we have inner HTML, outer HTML. These are the basic output techniques we learned. Alerts, conforms are just for displaying messages. And difference between alert and conform is conform allows you to cancel. And what is the return type of conform? The return type of conform is Boolean. It is returning true or false. Inner text, inner HTML difference. What is difference between inner text and inner HTML? Inner text will not support any formats. Inner HTML supports format. What is difference between inner HTML, outer HTML? Inner HTML will present the content in an existing element, and outer HTML will replace the existing element. It will replace that existing element. Now, one more important, here we are having how we deal with console. Console methods are present. So today we will see one more point about console methods actually. So console methods, generally console is nothing but console is a developer tool, developer CLI, command line interface. Command line interface. It is provided with browser developer tools. Developer tools. Console is a developer CLI. It's a developer command line interface. Actually, it is provided with browser tools. How you can open browser tools? To open browser tools, you have to inspect. So you right click in browser and you select inspect. Then developer tools will open. And when developer tools open in developer tools, you will see a console. Actually, console purpose is a developer can test his commands before implementing them. Anything related to JavaScript you can test in console. For a software developer, you need some terminal. So that before implementing really any functionality, first he need to test. He need to check what it is going to return, how it is going to work. That you can do using console. That means you see here, suppose we open the browser here. And in this browser, you see in this browser, let's go to inspect. When right click and select inspect, it will open developer tools. This is called developer tools. And in this developer tools, you will see so many categories will be there. We have a category of elements and we have a console. You can go to this console. This is the console. Here, developer can try all his commands. JavaScript related anything we can try here. That means we can just type alert and we can say hi and we can see enter. It will show and display. We can do all types of manipulations here. Suppose x equal to 10, y is equal to 20, z is equal to x plus y. And here we are using document.write z, and it is going to print that. It will test everything for you. This is a command line interface. In command line interface, developer can test everything whatever he wants. Generally, what we can do is, while designing, any technical issues you want to monitor, like how much time it is taking to run, how much time it is taking to render, such all things we monitor by logging them into this location. That means when designing any page, we want to know its performance. We want to know its results, performance, results, everything we can monitor as a developer. And that monitoring should not display on screen directly. The monitoring not for client, monitoring is only for developer. Then where he will put everything what he is monitoring, he will put in a console. That means console methods are nothing but they will display output here. And for whom this output is? Is this for general people? No, this is for only developers. So developers, when they are developing an application, they need to monitor some functionalities whose results they can log here and they can display here. Once they confirm that everything is fine, then they will remove that. Finally, when you are publishing a website, that website should not contain console methods. Console methods are only used in development. They are not used in production. Production means when our website is going live, make sure that you deleted all these console methods. Console methods are only for design, only for designing. And what are various console methods? Actually, developer can log all messages as output in console. Developer can log all messages as output in console. So the various contextual console methods are contextual methods. Means in Bootstrap you learn contextual. If it is error, then a different method. If it is warning, a different method. Like that, you have so many. Like you have console.log, console.error, console.warn, so console.debug. So we have console.info. Like this, you have so many. These are console methods. All methods are same. Only the point is, in some browsers, these methods have reasonable style of display. Error will display in a red cross mark. Warning will display in a triangle exclamation. So that means warning style, error style, like messages we can display. That is generally done by using this, right? Actually, so console methods are this, and syntactically, so console.log or anything, it can have some text, so it can have some string or it can have some expression. Any string or expression you can have. So note is console cannot take markup. Console cannot take markup or complex presentation. presentation. It is just only plain text or expressions. Cannot take markup or presentation. That means you can't print like a heading in console or a paragraph in console. It is only plain text. You can't display any color. Colors are contextual. Error, warning, these are contextual. To monitor what activities are happening, we use these console methods. For example, see now, in the previous program itself, so I am keeping here roughly, because you haven't learned anything else. Later, when you learn variables, operators, data types, we will learn how to capture the time, at what time they clicked, when they clicked, everything we can do. As of now, see, when user clicks delete, I will put console.warn. Console.warn. I will say delete button clicked. That is the message I want to show. After that, when true means okay is clicked, then console.error, I will put a message that okay confirmed. That means confirmed. And delete processed. This message we will give. And if they cancel, then what I will do here, I will put another. So console dot some info, something like info, and we will say that so cancel clicked, so delete cancelled. So this is the message we will put. And remember, these messages are not going to display anywhere in the page. In the page they will not display, they will display inside this console. And I click on delete, then you see record will be deleted. Are you sure? I say okay, and you see the messages are logged here. One is in error style, another one is in warning style. Actually, earlier we used to have different symbols. These days browsers are not having them. Like info symbol, I will come, debug symbol, some debug code symbol will come. Those symbols are not available these days. That is browser problem, right? So all other messages, you see, I click on delete again delete clicked. I click on cancel, then you can see cancel clicked. And all these messages, refresh, delete, I click on cancel, it says cancel clicked, right? I click on delete, I say okay, now it is the okay confirmed. It will show all the logging. Generally, whatever developer will do, they will capture the time, they will capture the activities, and they display them. At what time clicked, how much time it taken to delete, all such calculations they do. Once they are satisfied with the code they have written, now they will remove all this and they will design. Right? Remember, finally, when your website is going to be published, there should not be any console method. Console methods only for design, not for production level. So this is a very important note you have to note down. So console methods are only for design, not for production. That's important. Only for design, not for production. Production means when going live. We should never do that. Actually, you know, some programming basic rules, like suppose you know in your Java, .NET and all, exception handling will be there. You know, exception handling. You will learn exception handling for avoiding abnormal terminations and all. But in reality, exception handling should not be there when finally our application is published. There should not be exception handling in any application when we finally use that application. Only error handling should be there. Exception handling should not be there. Exception handling is only for developer to avoid the termination. Right? Like that, later I will explain when the concept is there. So like that, several code you will learn in designing. You will not put them in real publishing. In designing, you will be there. But while publishing, you should remove all that. That means, for example, suppose you are having some exception, like null exception, divide by zero exception, some exception, null exception. So suppose user have clicked some button and you showed a null error, null exception error. How he can understand? That means you want everybody to learn Java and use internet. How a general person understands your null exception? You don't know the word null. Then you have to display a message. This is not a valid operation. Please click like this. That means that is okay for you. For users, it will be in a convenient way, in another way. That's the reason lot of developer code is not continued for production. For designing, whatever you do, you have to do. But for production, you need to little bit change. You need to remove certain things. And in that, this is one point. Especially when you are publishing the code, there should not be any console methods in reality. You can use them while you are designing application, right? These are all the options. This is an example for that. I will copy the same example yesterday's. Just I added some console methods here. On delete click, OK click, cancel click, console methods are added. So what are the most common techniques for presentation to user? Alerts, confirm, document write, inner text, inner HTML and outer. Console methods only for developers we have to use. These are output techniques, how we can display output. Next important, now in JavaScript input techniques. JavaScript input techniques. How JavaScript can take input from user. From where we have to provide data to HTML. Means how it takes input from user. There are various input techniques. So user input can be from query string, or it can be from prompt, or it can be from form input elements. JavaScript input techniques are three input techniques are there. So one input is from query string, from prompt and from input elements. There are three input techniques. Actually, to work with query string, some more extra concepts are required, but I will explain later. You can do better, right? Actual query string is nothing but, for example, see here, I will just give one simple point. So I will add a new input HTML, and here I am designing a page, and here we have some input demo, and there is a paragraph. In this paragraph we have hello and we have a span. In that span ID is some message MSG. Okay. Now on body load, body on load, body load, we will have a function. So let's write a script, and the script type is text JavaScript, and here we have a function, and the function is body load. Now what should happen is, I will run this page. Yeah, what should happen is, whenever anybody opens this page, I want to ask him, who are you? And he will enter his name, and I need to display hello, that name. That means we want to allow user to enter name. User should able to input the name. into this. From where he will input? There is no text box. Is there anything to type inside this page? Yes, there is. You see address bar. Address bar is a text box. Na? You can type there. You can't type there. Website will get information from there. That means website uses query string from URLs. That means you see, I think many of you don't know. Suppose we have Amazon. Now in Amazon, I want mobiles category. Then do you know in the URL directly I can put /mobiles and enter. Directly /mobiles and enter. Directly it opens Amazon mobiles category. You see, directly it opens mobiles category. So from where I requested, I'm not requesting anywhere inside the page. I haven't used the search box. Am I right? I'm not using the search box, but in the search box, it taken mobiles. From where I used input, address bar, that is called query string. That means from the address bar, you can pass value. And your page can take that value and it can use that value. So user can input a value from address bar, and whatever he enters from address bar is called as a query string. Now, how query strings are passed? How query strings are collected? So let's see that point. That means how it is passed and how it is collected. See here, I will do one thing here. I will show you the point now. The first option we will see is query string. What is query string actually? A query string is defined in a browser address bar. A query string is defined in browser address bar. It is appended to existing URL by using question mark. By using that question mark. And query string is usually a key and value collection. Is a key and value collection. That means it will have like this question mark, key is equal to value. That's how we do. It's a key value collection. Under one key, you have to pass a value. How you saw Amazon, actually, Amazon is like this. Generally, it is like this, http://amazon.in. So here, question mark, it is having a key like category is equal to some mobiles, like that. Like mobiles or electronics or fashion, something. Those are the categories. That means now this is how you have to pass a query string. As of now, you have to pass the query string with a question mark. But you see in Amazon, they given a facility to pass with directly /. To design like that, you need to implement React, Angular like technology. Because Amazon is designed in React.js. Amazon is designed in complete React.js. Amazon, Netflix, Instagram, Facebook, these are all React.js websites. And in that, they implement a concept called routing. In routing, they can simply put a / and type the keyword. In reality, you have to use a question mark category equal to key and value until or unless you implement that technique, right? So now the query string is entered like this. Then how to collect it? Query string is entered like this. Then how do you collect this query string? Actually, you can access query string query string in page. You can access query string in page by using JavaScript. JavaScript have a location dot search. By using JavaScript location search. JavaScript have a location object, and that location object will provide a search property which is going to extract only that query string. Whatever query string is passed in URL, you can access it by using location.search. This location.search is going to return this part. It is going to return this part. This part means only this part. Including question mark also it will return. Including question mark also it will return. Question mark, category, equal, mobiles, everything. Complete query string it will return. But we don't want complete query string. We want only that word which is present after equal. We want only that word. Then by using string methods, we need to split. We need to cut that, copy only that part and use it. I will show a basic point here. See, now I am using that here. Let's see here. What I am doing is on body load, I am collecting here on body load. I am collecting here str. Temporarily directly use a variable name str. Location dot search. It will collect the query string and we will print it in document get element by ID MSG. MSG is a span. In that span, inner HTML, inside the span, we will put that string str. That means in that span, we will put that str string. What str contains? Location search. What location search will do? It get the complete query string. See what it is happening now. In the address bar, I am clicking here, question mark. You have to put a question mark and you put some key. Keys, I defined some uname. Uname is username equal to some John and enter. It will get that. Whatever you pass in the URL, it is going to get it and display that here. That means user can input a value from query string in the form of query string, but I don't want all of this. I want only the word John. Then you have to use your skills of string handling in Java, .NET, C++, everywhere, you know, string handling methods will be there. In JavaScript also, you will learn some string handling methods. If you know those methods, you can extract them. Roughly, I'm showing you here. What I have to do is, I need to find out where is equal. After equal, whatever characters are there, I have to read them and I want to present only them. Then I am using some JavaScript string functions like str.substring, substring, from which location str.index of equal symbol plus 1. Then you can see that it is going to return only that word. By using string functions, we are extracting only what is used and displaying. Now you can use anything here. Suppose you see here. Now key can be anything. Any lengthy key you can give, any value you can give. It will just get the value and display. For example, I am saying not hello. I am using here. So search. So, or you say searching for what? Now what I will do is searching for in the URL, I am using a question mark. I am using category. Category is the key name is equal to what? Mobiles, and hit enter. It will get only mobiles. I will change after the equal. I am searching for electronics and hit enter. It will get electronics. I can search here what I want, fashion, like this. You can handle multiple query strings, more than one values and all. But for that, you need to learn string arrays concept, then you can manage. But this is one first important thing you need to understand. So from where user can input a value, User can input a value from query string. So query string usually in the address bar we need to configure it, right? This is the important part. Here we used extra one more work. What we have used is actually note is location search. Location search returns complete query string. Query string. So you have to use string methods to extract only the value. You have to use string methods to extract only the value. So how you do that? Generally, how we do is, for example, str is equal to, it is having location dot search. This location dot search is suppose returning question mark and category is equal to some mobiles. Like this it is returning. Now what we have to do is str dot index of equal. What it will do is it returns index number of which symbol equal. It will return index number of equal, where that equal is present. At which location it is present? Index number of equal means currently in this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at 9. That means in the above query string where the index number is present, it is present at 9. After that, str dot substring and it is expecting index number. That means what it will do is it reads from specified index up to end. It reads from specified index up to end. That means inside that string from that particular index number, it will read up to end. That means what I do now here. So str dot substring here, str dot what? Index of equal. That means what does it means? It means that substring is using from 9. That means from 9 up to end it will read. From 9 up to end it will read. That means from 9 up to end it is going to read all the characters. And from 9 it will read means it will include 9 also. That means equal symbol also included. That is the reason what I have done. I have used str dot what? Substring str dot what? Index of what? Equal. I used +1. Understood? Why I used +1? Because it will include equal also. It should not include equal. After equal, then we have to use +1. That means it will read from 10 to end. It is going to read from 10 to end. That is the implementation I done actually. These are string functions. You will learn in a separate string concept. Don't worry. When you learn about string handling in JavaScript, I will explain how to use these string functions. But in order to learn input from query string, you should know this. Because query string means it will return everything. And we don't want complete query string. We want only the value. In that case, you can do this. So this is the concept how we can input a value and how we can collect the input value. So user inputs the value from URL, from the address bar. This is one input technique actually. I will give this example. This is input.html. So this is an example for input. This is the page for that, right? So what are the limitations? Limitations means, in address bar, it is not safe. Already we learned get post methods now. We discussed about the query string limits. What is the limit of query string? Maximum how many characters are allowed? 2048. Can you submit complex data like images and all? No. Right? So there are issues with that. Right? Already we know those issues. We discussed get and post. Right? This is one input method, how you can manage the input. Input can be handled in JavaScript by using a query string. Next important, you have another option. Instead of query string, you can use a prompt. Prompt is nothing but, so JavaScript prompt method provides a pop-up that allows input from browser window. JavaScript prompt method provides a pop-up. Actually, it is an input box. It is an input box to input value into page. It is an input box to input value into page. It is same like a alert and confirm, but alert and confirm can only show message. Alert and confirm cannot take values. For that, we have another option, that is what? Prompt. And actually, prompt returns so many things now. Prompt is going to return so many things. Generally, prompt is going to return, prompt method returns following. What it returns is, it will return empty string. It returns empty string, which is referred like this. Empty string on OK click without value. When you click OK without value, then it will return empty string. So it will return a string when you click OK click with value. That means whatever the string value you entered, it will return the string value when you click OK with value. When you click OK without value, then it will return an empty string. And when you click OK with value, it will return that value. And it will return null if you click cancel. Cancel click. So with or without value. With or without value, if you click cancel, it is going to return null. It is not true or false. It is null. Confirm returns true, false. But prompt returns null. When you click cancel, it will return null. It will not return false. Based on that, you have to write the logic. We need to write the logic. For example, see here, this time I don't want to take input from search here. I don't want to take input from query string. I don't want to take input from query string. I will do one thing. I want to take input from prompt. And prompt is just like a message box, just like alert and confirm. But actually, prompt have syntactically two important points. So we have to write prompt and your message. And here you need to put some default value. This default value is optional. That means without default value also, you can just put your message. That's it. If you want, you can keep a default value. Now, what is the result of this? What it is going to return? What is the result returned by this prompt? Prompt returns the above. It will return an empty string. It will return a string value or it will return null. That means you see now, you need to keep all the logic ready actually. For example, see now, I'm using prompt and here I am defining a search category. That means enter category name. I'm asking enter category name. And a comma, I can put some default value. Default value is like mobiles, like this I'm using. That means I will just use as e.g. example mobiles. I will put some electronics like that, help some default. And whatever you see now, this str, I want to display in that span. Document.getElement by id msg dot inner html is equal to str. Whatever result comes from the prompt, we are displaying there. Now you see here, a prompt will come like this. A prompt is going to display like this. Prompt have a input box and we have OK and cancel. Suppose if I click cancel, so that means what it is going to do, actually cancel is going to return null. And if you entered some value, some mobiles or something and enter, then it will get that value and display. That means you can take input from a prompt. But remember, you cannot do any customizations. Suppose I want first name, last name, password, not possible. Only one text box. You can't do anything. You can't add buttons. You cannot remove buttons. You can't change button text. You can't even change the button colors. This is not a pop-up created with Bootstrap. We learned Bootstrap models. If you want your own, you create your own models. This is window related. And window related will have same thing to happen every time. That means you change the color themes in your browser settings, then it will change the color, right? So this, you cannot do anything, customization, no customizations. I will show you clearly what it returns in different ways. I will show one example here. What I will do here is, this time I will clean up this. Yeah. I will create a simple option here for you to understand. I am not writing any body load. I am just using here a button and I say create folder. And below I will put a paragraph. Now for this button, I will write on click. On click is some create click. So we will write the function. We will write the function create click. On create click, we want to take the folder name. When user clicks this button, it should ask enter the folder name. That means I will use folder is equal to prompt. Prompt message is enter folder name. Default value, I am not giving anything, just empty name. And whatever entered in this, I want to display in paragraph. So document.query selector, I'm accessing paragraph because it's not having any ID or anything. Dot inner HTML, we will display equal folder. Whatever is stored in folder, we will display inside it. Now see what it will return. I click on create folder and I click on cancel. When I click cancel, it returns null. So that null we need to find out and display here. We need to write logic for that. That means here I am displaying some message. I am displaying some message. Folder created. Folder created. After folder created, I will put plus, that is a string. To that we will give folder. Folder is nothing but the value. Folder is nothing but the value. You can see in the confirm, in the console, I already told you. Internally, what it returns, you can observe. Go to console here. In the console, use a prompt and enter some message, enter name something, and hit enter. And you click cancel and see. It will return null. So on cancel click, prompt is going to return null. Suppose I entered some value here. I am not entering any value. I click OK without value. It returns an empty string. It returns an empty string. And I am entering some value into that. So name some and OK, it returns that name. It returns a string. So what are the results of prompt? Prompt result is either it will return null, or it will return empty string, or it will return a val. For all of these, you have to write conditions. If it returns null, what to do? If returns empty, what to do? If it returns value, then what to do? These are the conditions. That means you see now, I will write those conditions here. I am writing the condition. You see here, let's put a condition here. Condition is if folder is equal to empty. You saw empty string. Then what we will do? If it is empty, we will put an alert. In the alert, we will say that please enter a folder name. Enter a folder name. So it cannot be empty. That message we are giving. We will write another condition. Else if, what is another condition? If folder is equal to, what it is? If it is equal to null. If it is returning null, if it is equal to null, then what should do? So I will put an alert saying that you cancelled. This message we will keep. Else what should happen? It is not empty and it is not null. That means it is having some value. That value we will print here. So we will access document.what? Query selector. What is it? Paragraph. In paragraph inner HTML. Inner HTML we will display folder created. And plus the dynamic value coming from which variable? Folder. It will add that variable. Whatever value coming from that variable, it is concatenated with this string. And now let's run this and see. Now when I click create folder, it will ask folder name. I entered folder name as music and I say OK. Then it says music. I click on create folder. I click on cancel. Then it says you cancel. Because you are verifying null. And I click on folder and click OK without any name. Then it says please enter folder name. It cannot be empty. That means we are verifying all the three. We are verifying empty, we are verifying null, and we are verifying a val. But here you see when I entered folder name as movies, then you will see it replaces. Obviously it will replace. If you don't want to replace, you can use a simple technique. Whenever you are adding to paragraph, you can add plus equal. Plus equal means add to existing without replacing. Equal means what? The new value will be replaced with the existing. Plus equal means what? Keep the existing and add the new. Then everyone should be added in a new line. So I will put a BR. At the end, I will add BR. BR will put a line break. That means after the folder name, line break, because second name should come below. Now you see here, I entered folder name. I say movies. I entered create folder, that is music. And I entered folder name, some softwares, and you see it will display that. So we are taking input from user by using what? Prompt. And prompt is not great in input. It is okay when you are taking some plain string. you are taking some secret codes, passwords, or you are taking some selections. That cannot happen. If you are expecting only a plain string input, then you can go with prompt. Can you customize the prompt window? No chance. Then you have to design your own prompts. You have to create your own designs for taking input from user. So this is another basic input. Generally, this also used in websites. Why? Because we don't want a form to design. Because I just want to take some string value. Then no need of designing a form. You just take a simple value. You see Google Drive and all. You want to create a new file or a new folder. Just a simple string input is required. We don't need anything else. In that case, the best option is go with what? Prompt, right? So I will give this example for that. So how do we handle that syntactically? So this is the prompt and this is the example. Let me copy this example. This is the example for prompt. So input in JavaScript can be two ways. One is from query string, another one is from prompt. And if you want complex input, then we can go with the third technique. And this is nothing but you can use by using form input elements. By using form input elements. You know, HTML form provides a lot of input elements like text box, number, password, radio, checkbox, drop downs. That means what you can do is here you can design a form with various input elements like text box, like password, like number, like range, like URL, like email, so radio, checkbox, drop down, etc. List box, drop down, etc. You can design a form with various input elements like all this. So you can accept input from form elements and render in UI, user interface. You can accept input from form elements and render in UI. That means form elements keep the content in the reference of value. So you have to access the value and you will get it. Suppose in text box something is entered, how to collect it? Text box dot value. In a drop down something is selected, how to collect it? Drop down dot value. You have to collect by using value. And some elements we have to use conditions like radios, checkboxes. We cannot directly get the value. You have to verify whether they are checked or not. If checked, then one value. If not checked, another value, like that. We can design a form input. Let's create a simple input first. We will use different types of elements in different examples. First, I will show you a simple input, right? Let's do one thing here. How we can manage a simple input from different values and create. I will take a simple example of some Inox movies. Okay, and in this Inox movies, there is a quick booking toolbar. Okay, I will do one thing here. I will copy snipe tool by using the sniping tool. I will copy these images. I will copy this image. This is one poster image. let me copy that poster image. Okay, and we will keep this in our project folder. Where is that project folder? It is in Flipkart. Yeah, in Flipkart we have public, we have images and jailer. Okay, let's take another poster here. And I'm copying that another poster. Okay, and let's save this. Okay, and these are the files we copied. Fine, let's create a new page. I will create a new HTML page, and that is inox.html. Now what I want to do here is I want to use the complete bootstrap. Okay, and in that case I will use link relation is style sheet, href is node modules, bootstrap icons, font icons dot css. So link relation is style sheet, href is node modules, bootstrap dist css, bootstrap dot css. Okay, and here we will put a script. Script source is node modules jquery dist jquery.js. You know, complete bootstrap means you need to include jquery files. Bootstrap dist js bundle.js. These are all the files we need to link and configure complete bootstrap. We already learned. Now here I am designing a simple button. I'll just create one button and class btn primary, and margin top as 3, and the button is suppose book ticket, or say quick booking. Okay, here I will keep btn danger. Okay, now this is the simple quick booking toolbar we are having, and because we are using this class as container fluid. Okay, now this is quick booking, and when I click on this quick booking, a pop-up should come. In that pop-up it should ask movie name, theater names, and show timing, dates, everything. I want to display that. That means I want to display like movie name. User can select any movie, and I want to give here so a different name, and select cinema. I want to give here date. So I want to give here date, and I want to give here timing. So you want here today timing like this, date timings, and I want like seats, and I want book, and when user clicks book, I want the summary of what they selected, the booking summary, which movie, which cinema, which date, time, how many seats, all this it should display. So we'll do here one simple design for that, and I want it as a pop-up. A pop-up means I will create a div. I will keep it as class as what? Model. Model is using fade, and ID for his tickets, or say booking. Booking is the ID. You know how to design a model in Bootstrap. Have you practiced it? If you don't practice, you can't understand anything. If you don't practice your Bootstrap, don't come to JavaScript from tomorrow. It's waste of time. You have to just watch me. No use, because our every example will use Bootstrap now. Right? If you are not practicing that, you can't handle anymore. It's waste of time. Right? So if you are not practicing the Bootstrap, you can't handle my JavaScript. because every example I will give with Bootstrap. We will design complex real screens. Then obviously I have to use Bootstrap. If you don't practice, you can't handle anymore. JavaScript is not like all these days entertainment. You watch it like HTML, CSS, colors, photos. Now JavaScript requires some brain. You need to put some brain, otherwise you can't handle. All these days is different. Now it is completely different. You can't handle it anymore if you don't practice. You make sure that you practice your Bootstrap completely, right? Because our every example will be that. And how to design a model? Div, what is it? Model class. Model actually contains model what? Dialog. Inside model dialog, we have to design the class. What is it? Model content. And this model dialog, I will give model full screen because lot of elements will be there. And in model content, we will give a simple div, this class model header. And here I keep a heading and I will keep as quick booking. So, and here I will keep a button and class btn close. You know, data bs what? Dismiss is what? Model. Okay, now I will keep here a div and the class is model body. In the model body, I am designing a div, and in this div, I will put a class dflex, justify content between. Justify content between I am using. And here we have a div. In this, we have a select. And select have an option. What is this option? This is nothing but select movie. Select as a movie. Right? We have two options. So one is jailer and another option. What is it? Gather. Okay. Now we will take another one. Like that, you can add multiple. And this will have a class called form select. That is a Bootstrap class. And I will take another div. In this div, we have select cinema. So here I given some GVK. So one, some Banjar Hills like this. And here I defined some GVK, some KBHP. Something like this I have given. You can add different things here. Next, I am adding one more. What is it? This is what? Select date. Select date. Here I say 16 August or 17 August or say August. And I said today. Something like this. And here I have defined 18 August. Right? Tomorrow, like this. Like this, I am adding some content. Okay, I need another one. That is date. Next one. What is it? Select. Yeah. Here we have to use select what? Time. So I just given here. So 10:30 a.m. something. And suppose some 11:05 some p.m. something like this. And we add one more option. What is it? Select seats. Seats. Seats, I just give number. I said 1 and 2. And we have option like 3. You can add any number. Fine. I need another div. And in this div, we will have a button, say book. Class btn and btn danger. And when this, actually this is all the model. And this model is not going to display. On button click, it should display. We have data bs what? Target. Data bs target is hash. What is it? Booking. Data bs toggle. Data bs toggle. Toggle is what? Model. and you can see now, and I click on quick booking, it should open this and show. And here I can select a movie, I can select a cinema, I can select a date, I can select a time, and I can select the seats, and I click on book. When I click on book, all the details from these should be collected and displayed in a booking summary. And this should close. This should close and summary should display in the page. That means on book click, I have to close this. On close button, it is closing. On close button, it is closing. On book button also, it should close. That means for the book button inside model, where is it? For this button inside model, we will add data BS what? Dismiss. Dismiss what? Model. Not only that, extra, we have to do a functionality. Functionality is on book click, we have to collect all the details. That means on click. On click is what? Book click. On book click, we will write a function here. Let's go to the head section, script, and we have script type text JavaScript. And here we have a function. What is it? Book click. On book click, we have to collect all the details and display. Now the question is where you will display and from where you will collect. So you have to collect details from these drop downs. Then every drop down must have an ID. For first drop down, I will give an ID LST movie. LST movie. For second drop down, I will give an ID. This is LST cinema. And for third drop down, we will give an ID LST date. And for this, I will give an ID LST time. And here I will give an ID LST what? Seats. Seats. Okay, all are having references. Otherwise, we cannot use query selectors because all are select. We need a unique reference ID for every element. Okay. Now, what should happen is collect all the details and display below this button. Below this button, I will put another data list. This data list will have a heading saying booking summary. In this booking summary, we will have an image. Image will have an width, and I will give this data list class as W25, and the width will be 100%, and the height will be some 200. And you see, actually, booking summary is having a photo like this. It is having a photo like this. That means empty photo is present there. And below this image, we will put a data term. Data term is movie. And data definition. Data definition, below that, I should display the movie name. Right? If you want to display the movie name below that, then what we have to do? So here I want to display the movie name. This will have an ID. We have to collect value from drop down and we have to display inside that data definition. The data definition requires an ID. Drop down have an ID LST movie, and this will have an ID LBL movie. That means collect value from the drop down and display inside this data definition. Okay. Similarly, we want other details. What is it? Another one is cinema. And we have data definition. What is the ID? LBL what? Cinema. I have another data term. What is it? So date. And data definition. ID is what? LBL date. I have another data term. What is it? Time. And here data definition. ID is what? LBL time. Another data term we are having seats, and data definition ID as what? LBL seats. And I want these terms and definitions to display side by side. If you want to display side by side, we will use one thing. We will apply the class as what? Row. And for terms, we will apply class as what? Col. This is in one column and this is in another column. Class, another column. That means terms and definitions we will put in columns. I will just add that for every term. Every term is having a column. Every definition is also having a column. We are equally distributing in two columns. The content is in two columns. And usually you see like this, columns will come. Now I want to share the column size. That means this will be how many columns? Suppose 3. And this should be in how many columns? 9. That means all terms should be how many columns? 3. All definitions should be 9. I will use column 3 and column 9. So column 3 and column 9, because you know you have to distribute among 12. Column 3 and column 9. I am adding like this. And you can see that is going to display like this. And those details will come beside. Details are going to display beside. As of now, you see here, what we will do, lot of work is here. When I click on quick booking, it will open the summary. User will select whatever details they selected. We have to collect from these drop downs and we need to display inside that particular data definitions. It's very simple. On book click, we have to write the logic. Let's go to the book click here. First, where to display the movie name? In a data definition, what is its ID? LBL movie. So document dot get element by ID. What is it? LBL movie dot inner HTML. What should display inside? The value coming from drop down. What is the drop down ID? LST movies. The drop down ID we given as LST movie na? LST movie, LST cinema, LST date. So we have to access document get element by ID LST movie. What is this LST movie? It is a drop down. How to collect value of drop down? Dot value. That's it. That's a simple straightforward concept. Collect value of drop down and assign to data definition. Same you have to do for others. Document get element by ID. LBL what? Cinema. Inner HTML. What to do? Document get element by ID. LST what? Cinema. Dot value. Same. Document get element by ID. LBL what? Date. Date inner HTML. Document get element by ID. LST what? Date. Date dot value. So document get element by ID. What is it? LBL time. Dot inner HTML. Document get element by ID. LBL what? Time. Dot value. What else? Seats. Document get element by ID. LBL what? Seats. Dot inner HTML. Document get element by ID. Not LBL. It is LST. Na? Here LST time. Okay, here it is what? LST seats. LST seats dot value. Okay. Now picture, photo. Photo should display inside this image. Where is that image? The photo should display inside this image. So this image will have an ID as poster. Right now I will do here a simple logic. So I will put here poster is equal to document get element by ID poster. Poster is nothing but it is an image element. It is an image element. What should be the source of image? That depends on which movie you selected. Am I right? That means if what it is, we have to collect the movie name. How to collect movie name? Document dot get element by ID. What is it? LST movie. LST movie dot value is equal to some jailer like this. If it is that jailer, then what should be the poster? Poster dot src is equal to dot dot slash public slash images slash jailer dot jpg. That's it. Otherwise, currently we have only two. So otherwise we will put poster dot src is dot dot slash public slash images slash some other and dot jpg. That's what we are displaying. So depending on what movie name they selected, based on that, check the spellings and all. Capitalizations also important. Movie name, what capitalization you given, spellings you given, the same you should use here in condition also. Am I right? Now everything is ready. Let's click on quick booking and it will open the quick booking. You select a movie and you select a cinema, you select a date and you select time and you select seats and you click on book. Those details will come. So we are accessing those details and displaying the details. Now we can add a lot of things inside. Now actually there should be a modify button below. When user clicks modify, it should open again, right? So that means what you can do is here where in the quick booking, yeah, in this quick booking. So here I will put a button as modify and I will put a class btn and btn link. It looks like a link button. So I will give modify booking. Okay. And in this modify booking, it should open the model again. That means what we do, data bs target. Target is hash booking. Data bs toggle. Toggle is what? Model. And you see now here, lot of other work is there. Initially, I don't want to show this area. Initially, I don't want to show this area. It should be hidden. When user clicks OK, then it should display. That means how you will keep this complete data list hidden. You can keep this complete data list hidden. What we do is, for this you can put style as display as what? None. That means it is hidden. When it should display? When user clicks the book button, it should display. So on book button click, we have to display the data list. Is there only one data list in our page? Only one is there. Otherwise, you can use query selector. Otherwise, you put a ID. Many data lists are present. I will put one ID for this data list as summary container. Now, what should happen on book button click? Document dot get element by ID. What is it? Summary container. And it should apply a style to this. Dot style. Which style? Style name. Dot what? Display. Display is equal to block. Display block means will show below. Display none means hide. Display block means display. You can use display inline. Inline means side by side will come. We want to display below. Now you see what happens here. Initially, I click on quick booking and it will pop up. I can select a movie. I can select a cinema. I select a date and I select time and I selected seats and I selected book. Then the details will come. And the details will come. And important here in these details, you can see there is a modify booking. At the bottom, there is modify booking. I will click on modify booking. It will pop up again. And I will change the movie name and I will change the timing and I click on book. Then those details will come here. And you can see the time and details are changed. That means we are taking input from the user and we are presenting. And remember, when you display this one, you can hide this button. Quick booking button should not be there anymore. Then what you can do? For this button, also you give an ID. What is the ID? As a quick BTN booking. Okay. And how to hide it? How do we hide this? Same document dot get element by ID. What it is? BTN booking dot what style dot what display. Display should be what? None. That's it. And you can see now, I click on quick booking, then it will open. I selected a movie, I selected some cinema, I selected some date, I selected the time, and I selected the seats, and I click on book, and it will display only this. And I think width is not sufficient because we are using row and column. Width is not sufficient. So we give W50. So that means it should display. Otherwise, the issue with the width will come. We select date, we select time and seats and say book, and it's little same option is there. What it is not doing is these columns are not proper. We used a heading in between, right? Due to that heading, it affected, because rows and columns we need to display. That is the problem it is having. We'll do one thing. We will apply style. So we can apply what style, and data list what display. Display is what? Grid. Grid template columns. 3 fractions and 9 fractions. Is it able to show it or not? I will show here. Because if width is sufficient, because there are lengthy titles, that's the reason. Still it is not there. That is because of these images only. Because of these images, you do one thing. What you do is, in the design, you remove these image and heading from here. Okay. You remove them and put outside. Then you put in a div. Then you can show and hide the div. Then it will display side by side. That's okay. That depends on how you are configuring the width and height. Okay, let's change this. So 2 fractions and 10 fractions are enough. So because the type is displayed, that's also not enough. I need to remove those classes only. You try the design. You can do it now. Because what is the design? What you have to do is create one div. In the div, put this data list. In that you put divide columns left and right. Data terms and definitions we already discussed, right? How to keep in rows and columns we learned. You can try that. Because of these headings and all, they are not displaying. Let's try another size 2 and 10. Because width or more it is having. All terms will be 2. All definitions will be 10. So 2 and 10. Let's check this one. So add this and click book. Still, I will remove this. Remove this. Okay. Because directly the row will be there. Only the details I am giving. Yeah. That is details container. So width is not sufficient. We will you try. Why to waste the time in this? You design that because what you have to do is remove these two from here. These two remove from here. You have to put one container. Container is what? Div. In that div, you have to keep this data list also. And this ID you give to this div. And inside this, you have to keep it in this way. Summary container is kept inside it. Now you have the row. Data list is having the row. Now actually width and height for these elements, it will display below. Some reference error is there. What is the reference error we are having? Display is none. Data list. Okay. Showing and hiding the content here. Now it's fine. We are just having side by side. The width of image, you can now set it to how much percent? 25%. It will be okay. Right? Now I select here booking toolbar, and you see here going to display all these content side by side. It is showing side by side. Just width we need to adjust, and you click on modify booking. It will open the details again. You can change a movie and click on book. It is going to display that. Right? So you want to hide it by default. Which div you have to put? For this div you have to set, what is it? Style. Style display as what? None. Initially it will not show. Quick booking, select the movies, select the cinema, select the date, time and the seats, and say book, and it will get the detail and show. Just you can design this. Once you can create this, here I used all drop downs only. Now we will see how to use text box, radios, checkbox in the input. That another example we will see. That we will see tomorrow. Right? In tomorrow's session, we will discuss how to manage input by using other elements. Text boxes, radios, checkboxes, how to handle them. Right? Tomorrow will continue. This example I will post. You have to try this. Okay? Right.